Chapter 14. Every wise woman builds her house, but the foolish plucks it down with her hands. He that walks in his uprightness fears the Lord, but he that is perverse in his ways despises him. In the mouth of the foolish is a rod of pride, but the lips of the wise shall preserve them. Where no oxen are, the crib is clean, but much increase is by the strength of the ox. A faithful witness will not lie, but a false witness breatheth forth lies. A scorner seeks wisdom, and findeth it not, but knowledge is easy unto him that hath discernment. Go from the presence of a foolish man, for you will not perceive the lips of knowledge. The wisdom of the prudent is to look well to his way, but the folly of fools is deceit. Amends pleadeth for fools, but among the upright there is good will. The heart knoweth its own bitterness, and with its joy no stranger can intermeddle. The house of the wicked shall be overthrown, but the tent of the upright shall flourish. There is a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. Even in laughter the heart aches, and the end of myrrh is heaviness. The dissembler in heart shall have his fill from his own ways, and a good man shall be satisfied from himself. The thoughtless believeth every word, but the prudent man looks well to his going. A wise man fears, and departs from evil, but the fool behaves overbearingly, and is confident. He that is soon angry dealeth foolishly, and a man of wicked devices is hated. The thoughtless come into possession of folly, but the prudent are crowned with knowledge. The evil bow before the good, and the wicked at the gates of the righteous. The poor is hated even of his own neighbor, but the rich hath many friends. He that despiseth his neighbor sins, but he that is gracious unto the humble, happy is he. Shall they not go astray that devise evil? But mercy and truth shall be for them that devise good. In all labor there is profit, but the talk of the lips tendeth only to penury. The crown of the wise is their riches, but the folly of the fools remaineth folly. A true witness delivers souls, but he that breatheth forth lies is all deceit. In the fear of the Lord a man hath strong confidence, and his children shall have a place of refuge. The fear of the Lord is a fountain of life, to depart from the snares of death. In the multitude of people is the king's glory, but in the want of people is the ruin of the prince. He that is slow to anger is of great understanding, but he that is hasty of spirit exalteth folly. A tranquil heart is the life of the flesh, but envy is the rottenness of the bones. He that oppresseth the poor blasphemeth his Maker, but he that is gracious unto the needy honoureth him. The wicked is thrust down in his misfortune, but the righteous, even when he is brought to death, hath hope. In the heart of him that hath discernment wisdom resteth, but in the inward part of fools it maketh itself known. Righteousness exalteth a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people. The king's favor is toward a servant that dealeth wisely, but his wrath striketh him that dealeth shamefully. All right, let's go up to verse 1. We're continuing with these little sayings, these proverbs. These are proverbs of Solomon. Solomon, son of David. These proverbs are just little sayings we can call to remembrance, and sometimes we remember them. They kind of stick in our mind. And we can exercise them with some meditation and some understanding, and we can use them. We're going to pick it up here in verse 1. Every wise woman builds her house, but the foolish plucks it down with her hands. And every wise woman builds her house. Every wise woman, every woman of understanding, everything, and we can use this in two different ways. They build their house. It's that thing to do. to plan for the future, but this foolish plucks it down with her hands, these works that she does, because she's not wise. She's the foolish one, this one who doesn't use her common sense. 2. He that walks in his uprightness fears the Lord, but he that is perverse in his ways despises him. He that walks in his uprightness fears the Lord. Now, we know that because that's where they get the uprightness from, that fear, that understanding, we should say, that the reverence that comes from the presence of the Lord in our life, and it comes through his ordinances and his statutes he gives us. We'll find out this is the definition of the upright, those that do what they've been asked to do. But he that is perverse in his ways despises him. But these ones that are perverse, they don't like the Lord. They don't like him. They don't like his advice. They don't like nothing he does. They're always in trouble. They're always having problems. We'll find out, though, they did that themselves. 3. In the mouth of the foolish is a rod of pride, but the lips of the wise shall preserve them. In the mouth of the foolish is this rod of pride. And they exalt themselves. We can see that. It's an automatic thing. This mouth, in their mouth, these words, they'll use them every time to try to gain their superiority over a person, and that's what every word spoken is for. But the lips of the wise shall preserve them. But these lips of the wise, these things they speak, and we're going to find out that lips are that which works in the mouth. There's 2 of them there. They're like little witnesses working to make the word. And basically what it is their actions, what they do, preserves them, see. But we'll find out the idiot is found out just to be a fool. For where no oxen are, the crib is clean, but much increases by the strength of the ox. Where no oxen are, the crib is clean. And that basically there's not a lot gathered in. You just don't get a lot, because we'll find out the oxen has a lot of strength. His strength is in pulling. His strength is in pulling, and it's used to bear the load, to pull the load. And this is really the truth, and this it's no fun being the ox. See, it's no fun being the ox, this one that's yoked up. There's no fun in that. We'll find out, though, sometimes that's right where the Lord puts us. 5. A faithful witness will not lie, but a false witness breatheth forth lies. A faithful witness will not lie. He's got nothing to lie about. He's faithful. His ability to lie ain't there. He's faithful. Means he knows what the law is. He's going to keep the law. It's an ordinance. It's a statute. Not to have a false witness. Not to be a liar. See? But a false witness breatheth forth lies. This liar, he's nothing but a liar. It's really a very simple thing. We understand it as soon as we hear the word. The word goes out. It's a lie. There's a liar. You can't hide from nobody. You're fooling yourself. 6. A scorner seeks wisdom, finds it not, but knowledge is easy unto him that hath discernment. A scorner seeks wisdom. Well, sure, but he doesn't know what he's looking for, and finds it not. That's why he can't find it. He don't know what he's looking for. He's always going around bad-mouthing everybody else, not understanding. It's himself, really, that he's bad-mouthing. But knowledge, that's easy for him that hath discernment, the one that knows the difference between right and wrong. That's somebody that's got a little understanding. Maybe the law. 7. Go from the presence of a foolish man, for you will not perceive the lips of knowledge. Go from the presence of a foolish man, for you will not perceive the lips of knowledge. I believe I remember that from a Archie Bunker All in the Family episode. But the presence of a foolish man is somewhat it ain't got no understanding. What good does it do to hang around and listen to him when he's not going to tell you anything that's going to do you any good? Because you will not perceive the lips of knowledge. You ain't going to get nothing from that. There's no understanding going to come from him. No enlightenment, no vision, no foresight, no thought. 8. The wisdom of the prudent is to look well to his way, but the folly of fools is deceit. The wisdom of the prudent, this one who's got a little understanding about him, this one Aru, and he's sensible, he's crafty, he's smart, he's got a little common sense. He looks well to his way. He knows what time it is. He ain't going to be led astray. He ain't going to be fooled. He may have a little understanding too. But the folly of the fools is deceit. The folly of the fools, that's their problem right there. These idiots, these fools, these ones that do foolish things. Their folly is deceit. They lie to themselves. Oh, we ain't doing nothing wrong. That's part of your problem, right? That's wrong. That's wrong. You know what I mean? You're lying to yourself. Can't lie to anybody else. They can see. 9. A man's pleadeth for fools, but among the upright there's goodwill. A man's pleads for fools. To make restitution, we would think what a man's means, but we're going to this word. I believe King James Version says, "Fools make a mock at sin." Basically, that's probably a better understanding for it. Once again, we have the fools, or the word is evil. These that are foolish, the ones that don't want instruction. They don't want to listen to what anybody else has got to say. They already know it all. They mock sin. The word is lutz. And they make mouth at it. They talk arrogantly, like, oh, well, I can do that. They think they can just go into it. Sin, word sin is asham, and that is guilt. They mock at guilt. They know they're guilty, and they just mock at it. They don't think that anybody can hold them accountable, not realizing they're being held accountable the whole time. And later on, they'll be sorry, and that's what guilt comes in. But one with understanding and one with knowledge has the ability to hear, and before he gets in this position, he gets out of it. 10. The heart knoweth its own bitterness, and with its joy no stranger can intermeddle. The heart knows its own bitterness. You don't know what you've done. Nobody has to convict you. The Lord convicted you already. It's with its joy no stranger can intermeddle. There's nobody can get in there and take part in that great joy that's inside of anybody, much less their bitterness. 11. The house of the wicked shall be overthrown, but the tent of the upright shall flourish. That's something that's built up really nice. That's something that's been established. Of the wicked shall be overthrown. That great structure, that what he's built, what he thinks he's stood up, we'll find out. Wickedness can't last. Wickedness can't last, even though it wants to try. It's nurtured. It's led on by the actions of people who just keep continuing and causing to continuing. It's really simple to stop. We just simply teach our children the law. But the tent of the upright shall flourish, because in that tent's something we just have to keep packing up and moving around. Why, there ain't going to be no rest as long as we dwell with the wicked. And that's just those that simply keep transgressing the law and the ordinances and the statutes of the Lord. There ain't nothing hard about it. There is a way which seems right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. And that's the way we find it, this way. Oh, it seems right unto a man. Oh, yeah, we're getting somewhere. We're progressing. We got all this stuff they didn't have back then. Yeah, that just makes it easier to keep going the wrong way. I ain't knocking progress. I ain't knocking invention. I ain't knocking none of that. It's what you use it for. That's when we find out, or your desire, your greed that comes from the lust of wealth. That's what I'm talking about. There's an end to all that. See, them ways lead to death. Them ways lead to deception, causing people. They go into debt and wanting all this stuff. Holding temptation out there. Oh, it seems good. It seems right unto a man. 13. Even in laughter the heart aches, and the end of mirth is heaviness. Even in laughter, the heart aches. I ain't talking about great joy and laughter. I'm talking about this laughter that comes from, it's kind of funny when somebody falls down, as long as they don't get hurt real bad. But in the end, the mirror's just heaviness. We end up feeling sorry for the poor idiot. I use that word a lot. I shouldn't. These misfortunate, everybody has the right to hear the truth. Everybody has a right to hear the statutes and the ordinances that the Lord give us. He put it in your heart for your own good. Everybody's heard it. No secrets here. But when you flat disobey and you won't listen, this is the one I call the idiot. He's not listening. And that's just the way it is. I'm sorry if I offend somebody. 14, the dissembler in heart shall have his fill from his own ways, and a good man shall be satisfied from himself. The dissembler in heart shall have his fill of his own ways, and that's basically what I just said. You're going to get what you got coming. This dissembler in heart, the backslider, is what King James Version calls him. The word is suga. This one that turns back, he moves away, he backslides. I've talked about that little backsliding place. You're like a bug caught in a trap. You try to get out, but you just slide back down the wall. You don't know how you got there. If you did, you just go back the way you came. And that's always going to be through that gate of transgression, my friend. That's what got you in the place where you're at. 15. The thoughtless believe every word, but the prudent man looks well to his going. The thoughtless believes every word. Boy, that's one we can see today. These thoughtless, they believe every word somebody tells them. Oh, that's the truth. He told me so. Is that what the Lord said? The Lord tells you the truth, and nobody else knows the truth but him. The prudent man looks well to his going. The subtle man, this prudent man, this wise man, he's got a little smarts about him, a little understanding. Maybe he got some knowledge. Wonder where he got it. 16. A wise man fears and departs from evil, but the fool behaves overbearingly and is confident. A wise man fears. He got a little common sense there, and he departs from evil. This is a wise man what does this. He gets out of there. He departs. He leaves. He runs, if you remember. But the fool, he behaves overbearingly. He's tough. He can take it. He's confident. He can stand in there. Yeah. 17. He that is soon angry deals foolishly, and a man of wicked devices is hated. He that is soon angry deals foolishly. Well, that's because we usually end up making ourselves angry by some dumb mistake we made. And a man of wicked devices is hated, but a man of wicked devices is hated because the one who sits around and thinks about these things which he's going to do to try to hurt somebody else, he is the one who is hated. Nobody likes that guy. He's always trying to hurt somebody. Always trying to do somebody out of what they got somehow. He's soon to be angry if he dealeth foolishly. It's one thing when we sit around and think about that stuff. It's another thing we get up and go do it. We should be thankful to the Lord if he keeps us from the way. But sometimes he's got a lesson he's going to teach you. 18. The thoughtless come into possession of folly, but the prudent are crowned with knowledge. The thoughtless, they come into possession of folly. They don't take no thought, so they make mistakes. And really, that's what it boils down. We need to think about what we're doing, friends. The prudent, they're crowned with knowledge. They got some understanding. They got a little wisdom. They're subtle. They got some understanding about them. I'm beginning to think they got it from the Lord. The evil bow before the good, and the wicked at the gates of the righteous. The evil bow before the good. They really got no choice. Do you want an evil person running the show, or do you want a good person running the show? I want the Lord running the show myself. And the wicked at the gates of righteousness, because there he controls that which is righteous. These gates, that's a place where they judge. They gather together to make decisions. And that's the place where there's judgment. These gates, that's the ordinances and statutes of the Lord, my friends. 20. The poor is hated even of his own neighbor, but the rich hath many friends. The poor is hated even of his own neighbor. Nobody likes him very much. He ain't got nothing. He ain't got nothing. He's always got trouble. He needs something, wants something. Nobody likes him a lot. Even his neighbors don't care a lot for him. But the rich hath many friends. He buys them all. 21. He that despises his neighbor sins, but he that is gracious unto the humble, happy is he. The one that despises his neighbor, my friends, sins. This one that looks down. The word is boots, not the kind you wear, but boots. It's to despise or hold in contempt. To treat like he's insignificant. Oh, that guy, he don't mean nothing. No, we don't look at people like that. Everybody's important. Are you important? You want to be important? Everybody wants to be important. But he that is gracious unto the humble, happy is he. You're gracious to those that ain't got a little bit. Make them feel important sometime. We all like to feel important. We are important. The Lord says we're important. That's why we constantly trying to turn us. Wants to save us. Wants to redeem us and make us whole. Give us back our understanding. 22. Shall they not go astray that devise evil? But mercy and truth shall be for them that devise good. Shall they not go astray that devise evil? Oh, these ones that sit around and think about doing something bad. What's the chances? What's going to happen to you? Most likely you sit around and think about that stuff. That's what you're going to wind up doing. You don't want to do that. Mercy and truth shall be for them that devise good. Sit around and think about how you can help yourself, help somebody else, do anything, improve your position every day. Every day. See, mercy and truth shall be for them. That's what you get. It's an automatic thing. 23. In all labor there is profit, but the talk of the lips tendeth only to penury. In all labor there's profit. We're going to get something. Anything you do, you're going to get paid for it. Don't worry about that. We've talked many times about that. Everybody's going to get what you got coming. But the talk of the lips tends only to penury. But the talking of lips that just sit around and to talk about what you're going to do, never doing it, leads to penury, leads to this poverty or not having anything, maybe a penny or two. That's kind of what it leads to, that insinuation. But to be into poverty, lacking. The crown of the wise is their riches, but the folly of fools remaineth folly. The crown of wise is their riches, that which sets over them is riches, not riches of money or wealth. Just because you got a lot of money don't mean you're smart. You may be crafty and smart in business, but that has nothing to do with real wisdom. Sometimes we all have something we have to overcome. But the folly of fools remains folly. The mistakes of the fools, once again, these idiots, remains folly. They just keep tripping in it, keep stepping in it, not learning from the mistakes that are in your path, but just keep stepping in it. 25. A true witness delivers souls, but he that beareth forth lies is all deceived. A true witness delivers souls. Because why? They've come into the witness and to bear the truth and to deliver the one who is held, who's been accused, who's done nothing. But he that breathes forth lies is all deceit. This one that breathes forth lies, he's the accuser, the one that makes accusations. And he is the one really who's guilty. And he's trying to deceive. He's trying to point the finger in a different direction and put the blame where it doesn't belong. 26. In the fear of the Lord a man hath strong confidence, and his children shall have a place of refuge. In the fear of the Lord, that's in the respect of Hashem. That's that name, right? That gives that presence of the Lord himself. A man has strong confidence. Why? Because we'll find out it's respect for the ordinance and statutes our Father gave us in the beginning. Wrote them on your heart. And his children shall have a place of refuge. In that place they will always have refuge because they got some knowledge of their own. They have an ability to stand up and take responsibility for themselves. 27. The fear of the Lord is a fountain of life, to depart from the snares of death. The fear of the Lord is this fountain of life. This flowing fountain that we can partake of, this fear, it's just simply the reverence. And, the fear is the same fear we get from our own father. Dad's home, you've done something wrong. There's a little fear there. If you haven't, you're standing in your this correction. But we don't want to be the accuser. We all need to be honest. If we've done something, the Father's good to forgive us. That's what it's all about. So that you can depart from the snares of death. These traps, these snares, these little things that catch you, and they're like cords or ropes that tie you down to that place of death. That place even where death exists. Because you don't practice and do what the Lord's asked you to do. 28. In the multitude of people is the king's glory, but in the want of people is the ruin of the prince. In the multitude of people is the king's glory. This great people, the Lord used to cause kings to rule over people. He took the king away. There's this glory, though, because he's got a great kingdom the Lord delivers to his hand. But it's this want of people, this want to add to, this want to conquer others. That's the ruin of the prince, this one who wants to be the king. 29. He that is slow to anger is of great understanding, but he that is hasty of spirit exalts folly. This one who's slow to anger, he knows what, he's just going to be sorry if he gets angry. He knows he's going to be sorry for what he's done. He's slow to anger. He's learned his lesson. He's got some understanding, see. And understanding comes from every time we learn a lesson. Knowledge comes, wisdom comes, and the Lord guides us in these paths with his law and his statutes. He that is hasty of spirit exalts folly. This one who just acts quickly and he don't think about what he's doing. And that's the way he exercises his life. This is the spirit he has. He becomes this one who's always quick to do it, quick to act, and not thinking about what he's done. He exalts folly. He lifts it up. He condones it. 30. A tranquil heart is the life of the flesh, but envy is the rottenness of the bones. A tranquil heart, that's a happy one. One that is content. It's the life of the flesh. It adds life to the flesh. It extends the days of unhappiness and misery and this kind of stuff. This is the negative. This is what kills you early. Envy is the rottenness of the bones, wanting everything, everybody, always feeling sorry for yourself because you ain't got nothing. Well, if you got a little knowledge and you got a little wisdom and some understanding, the Lord give it to you. It's something you can fall back on. We'll find out. Happiness begins there. 31. He that oppresses the poor blasphemies his Maker, but he that is gracious unto the needy honors him. He that oppresses the poor tries to keep him there. He blasphemies his Maker. In other words, you act like you ain't got nobody that created you. The Lord could throw a yoke on you and mash you down real quick. But he that is gracious unto the needy honors him. The one that's gracious, he sees those. He knows their struggle. He knows what they've been through. The Lord's gracious. And really, it's the merciful. He's merciful. He's merciful to those that have mercy. He oppresses those that oppress. And that's where we get caught up in their suffering. 32. The wicked is thrust down in his misfortune, but the righteous, even when he is brought to death, hath hope. Wicked, he's thrust down in his misfortune. Sorry about your luck. But the righteous, even when he's brought to death, hath hope. Because he's the Lord there too, my friends. 33. In the heart of him that hath discernment, wisdom rests. But in the inward part of fools it makes itself known. In the inward heart of him that has discernment, wisdom rests. Well, this one who has the ability to decide what's going to happen to him, he takes responsibility for himself. He's got a little wisdom. He's got some understanding. He's got some knowledge. He's got a little bit of ability. Maybe the Lord give it to him. But the inward part of fools, it makes itself known. But this inward part of fools, these idiots, once again, I call them idiots, they always want to tell somebody else what to do because they think they know it all. And it makes itself known. We can see it in society, buddy. Who you think you're hiding from? 34. Righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people. Righteousness exalts a nation. That's what lifts you up. That's what makes you great. That's what makes you powerful and gives you strength. The Lord, through righteousness, through doing the right thing, through being just, equal. But sin, that's a reproach to any people. It don't matter who you are, buddy. Don't matter what color your skin is, where you come from, what language you speak. It doesn't matter what language you speak. Everybody's in the same boat. We all live on one planet. Nobody going nowhere. 35. The king's favor is toward a servant that dealeth wisely, but his wrath striketh him that dealeth shamefully. The king's favor is toward a servant that dealeth wisely. And this comes through that understanding that of the earthly king. He takes that place up, kind of like judgment position, like God himself. And this is how he would deal with this wise servant. He has favor towards him. Hey, you're doing the right thing. But his wrath strikes him that dealeth shamefully. He's going to punish him, this one that doesn't deal correctly. You know, because this is an example. This is how the Lord works. And this is the only an example. The king was used for that example. Only when they did the right thing, they were used for the other example when they didn't. We're going to move forward, Proverbs 15. Turn and return.